a YouTube boxer who's come into the game and blew it up, and he's got millions of followers and millions of views and millions of eyes, good, bad or indifferent. Some people love him, some people hate him. So I think it's a really good spectacle for boxing. It brings a lot of people to the game. And listen, who am I to say, oh, Mike Tyson shouldn't be boxing or Jake Paul shouldn't be boxing? Good luck to them. They're both going to make what I call a ton of money out of it. So isn't that what it's about?
Fury thinks that both Mike and Jake are evenly matched based on how, despite being away from the ring for more than 2 decades, Mike is still more talented than Jake, who is comparatively new to the sport.
I just don't know what's not to like. Oh, okay, the guy's 57 years old, but he's a former undisputed world heavyweight king, and one guy plays computers for a living, and he's come to boxing about a year ago, so pretty even match.
Tyson also added how at the end of the day, it does not matter who will triumph or who will lose, as all any hardcore boxing fan really wants is to witness this once-in-a-lifetime spectacle.
I admire them both, and I wish them both the best of luck, and I hope they put on a great show, which I know they will. I see Mike's training hard on his videos and stuff, and Jake Paul's always in shape, so I'm looking forward to a good event. People say, oh, it's shit and this, that and the other, but I bet they still watch it.
Unlike his brother, Tommy Fury does not seem to fancy this fight, stating how even though this fight will be a huge thing in terms of commercial success, it still does not add any credibility to either fighter's career, especially Jake's.
I think it's a lose-lose situation, because if he beats him, he's knocked out a 60-year-old man that everybody loves, so he's not going to get any credit for that. And if he loses, he's got knocked out by a 60-year-old man. So I don't really know. I think, it's on Netflix, yeah, it's a big thing, congratulations, but the fight itself, I don't think it's one that people really want to see.
Tommy, who has faced Jake in the past and won, ridiculed the 27-year-old fighter for his atrocious choice of picking Mike as an opponent despite their 30-year age gap.
He couldn't beat me, so he's going to fight granddads now, which is terrible. What you was isn't what you are now. Mike Tyson's an absolute legend. He deserved the utmost respect, and listen, it is what it is.
Tommy also addressed the comments about him ducking Jake for a rematch, clarifying that he was never offered such a deal, and all these absurd claims from Jake's team are nothing but a cheap ploy to garner attention before his upcoming fight.
Oh, listen, mate, I don't need him for nothing. At the end of the day, he's the one who lost. He's got the big fat L on the record, and I'm undefeated still. But listen, he talks a lot of crap, Jake Paul. It is what it is. But listen, I'm happy. I'm recovering from the surgery, and all that video I posted the other day I just wanted to knock him out this time, because I'm really not happy with the first performance I did. So I just want to get back in there and knock him out good and proper this time.
Anthony Joshua believes that fights like these are good for the sport, as they help boxing grow in general by bringing new and fresh audiences into the midst of the old rigid fan base.
Let's say we divided this crowd in half, and you've got half of the people that are hardcore boxing fans and half of the people that love a certain person that's into YouTube.
Like a YouTuber, yeah.
But that person brings all of these people into boxing, which benefits.
Anthony explained that one of the main reasons for the criticism directed towards this fight might be due to the loopholes that Jake has taken to get into it, which, despite being understandable, should not be enough to condemn the overall event.
I personally think it's really good. I think that the boxing hardcores, like the boxing fanatics, they don't like it because it's like, why are they disrespecting our sport? There's an Olympic system that you have to go through, and once you've qualified there, then you go through to the professional ranks. Whereas someone with a profile can just come out of nowhere and fight one of the best guys.
Predicting the winner, Anthony weighed in on Mike's age, stating that despite being one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world, he is still almost 60 years old, which gives Jake a somewhat clear shot at victory.
The thing I'm worried about is Father Time. That's one thing that has never been beat. And Tyson's, he's older now. But I pray that he comes out healthy, but I think Jake Paul because of youth. That's the only thing, because of the youth.
Sharing the same outlook, veteran boxer and former world champion Michael Nunn seems to think that no matter the age, Mike Tyson is still the fighter that he was, and if he is able to activate even 1% of his destructive powers, then he can easily dismantle Jake.
If Mike Tyson just goes out there and do what Mike Tyson does, he's going to obliterate. He's going to who wants to be at the end of a Mike Tyson left hook to the liver or to the chin?
Looking at it from a legacy perspective, KSI emphasized that even though fights like these do tremendous numbers and are highly profitable, they are still worthless in terms of creating a legacy or gaining any prestige among your fellow fighters.
I guess because legacy is my thing. I just feel like for Jake Paul, his legacy is going to be, he can knock out old people. And I honestly, I just think it's sad, bro. I think it's super sad. I don't know why Jake took it. It's a lose-lose. Literally, he knocks out Mike Tyson and he's beaten what? No way. Mike Tyson is 57 years old.
Yeah.
Like, yes, in his prime, this would have been crazy. But now it's like, oh, it's just...
Patrick Bet David, who is a renowned internet personality and analyst, also thinks that this fight is a bad idea for Mike Tyson's health, as there is no chance that he might come out of this fight unscathed and unharmed, even if he ends up securing a miraculous victory.
Wait, Mike's gonna be 58 years old at this fight, and Jake's gonna be 27.
Holy crap, 30 years.
And can Mike still beat Jake or no? At this, the 30-year difference.
Talking about the repercussions of this fight on Jake's career, Patrick stated that no matter the result of the fight, Jake will not be hailed as a champion or warrior, as he seems to believe, because no one will ever give him credit or fight someone who is 30 years older than him.
Night, stories written. Mike Tyson knocks out Jake Paul, okay? Midnight, July 20th, stories written. Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson. July 20th, midnight, decision, Jake, decision, Mike, okay? Whatever. Which one is a bigger deal? Is it a bigger deal if Mike beats Jake Paul or Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson?
Not mincing his words, Chael Sonnen, who is a former MMA fighter and promoter, bluntly stated that this is one of the most baseless events that have ever been orchestrated in combat history, and no real boxing enthusiast will ever watch it.
This thing is going to look terrible on TV. You think this thing is going to draw more than Mike versus Roy? You think this thing is going to draw more than Fury versus Francis? It's going to look ridiculous in an 80,000 seat arena. And what would be the reason that they're boxing? Money. Yep, sure. Yeah, we understand that. That doesn't work. It's a flop. It's a flop. Lloyd and Connor in the fight capital of the world did less than 12,000 tickets. Come on, man. In Texas?
Further addressing this appearance and concerned fans, Chael stated that no matter what, the age factor will be a major problem for Mike Tyson on the fight night, and anyone who does not consider it might be delusional.
Tyson! Most valuable promotions in Netflix will bring the biggest event in modern boxing history. Paul versus Tyson, right here at AT&T Stadium on Friday, November 15th.
Michael Bisping, who is a famed analyst and former MMA fighter, issued an alarming warning concerning Mike's health going into this fight, stating that though many might not like Jake as a fighter, he can fatally injure Mike, which will be a huge tragedy.
For manslaughter, if you put the man to sleep, if you knock him out, if you were to kill Mike Tyson in the squared circle, which is a real risk, sadly, that does happen. He's an older man. He's almost a pensioner. If you do that, I say charge you with manslaughter.
One distinct aspect that Michael pointed out was how it looks as if even Mike might not be taking this bout seriously based on his attitude through the press conferences, and how this fight might only be a ploy for him to get his head back in the game.
That's what Mike Tyson's using this whole thing as. A reason to train, a reason to get in shape, to challenge himself, to test himself, to have a bit of fun. Yeah, okay, make some money along the way, but use Jake Paul as just a reason to occupy your mind, to get better, and as I say, improve your health.
Showbiz the Adult, who is famed for his boxing commentary and analysis, seemed to be a part of the group who is concerned about Mike going into this fight, especially after witnessing Jake's last fight against Mike Perry, which ended in a ruthless fashion.
As a huge Iron Mike Tyson fan, I'm concerned. I am. Mike, I don't know what's going on with your ulcer, what's going on medically, brother. I really don't know. I am starting to get a bit concerned, and Jake Paul isn't getting any worse. He's actually getting better and better. Do I think Mike Tyson could knock out Jake Paul?
Believing that the reality of Mike's condition is being kept hidden, Showbiz stated that though Mike has all the skills to deal with a fighter like Jake in his current situation, that might be too much for him.
I think he would destroy Jake Paul if he's not sick. And I really don't. I need updates on Mike Tyson to know if he's not sick. But as of right now, I am actually terrified. After the whole medical scare with Iron Mike Tyson, I must admit I am terrified. And I think that's going to actually bring more eyes to the event.
During an event like this in New York, which is Tyson's hometown, the fan favorite Idol expressed his gratitude for the boxing community while simultaneously shutting down any rumors about the fight getting canceled due to his health.
It's happening. We're all here.
How prepared are you to knock Jake Paul out?
I'm very prepared. I had a small adversity. I got sick, but I'm better.
Being a pro at trash talk, Mike threw brutal verbal jabs at Jake, calling him an incompetent fighter who is nowhere near the level he claims to be because since the start of his career, he has failed to accumulate a faithful audience.
Is he really a young killer? Let's look at it. Who else is he gonna fight to make this happen? Listen, you just have to listen to the fact. We got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that ever lived.
Jake, not taking keenly to these insults, countered back at Mike, stating that despite being undermined within the community since the beginning due to his past career, he had proven time and time again that he is a great fighter.
Every time these fighters sit across from me and it's YouTuber, it's Disney Channel, all that shit, and then you end up on the canvas and you'll see it's gonna be no different here, I promise you that.
Jake also did not shy away from blasting the audience and the fan base, stating that even though he might not get the credit for this fight, he has immense confidence in himself and his abilities as a fighter.
Hey, New York, shut the up, New York. Hey, boo yourselves. Boo yourselves, New York. Hey, New York, New York, New York, you're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago. New York. And this is to make history. You know, people think I'm gonna get knocked out by this strong, powerful guy. All the people in my comments saying, look at his power, he's gonna get KO'd. People are yelling at me in the event. But what happens when I put this man to sleep? This is not a joke. He's saying that it's gonna be my funeral. He's saying it's gonna be my wake. He's gonna kill Jake Paul, all of these things. And that's why I love Mike, I respect him, but we're not friends anymore. Until November 15th, I'm knocking this motherfucker out, and we're gonna see who's dead.
He's a manufactured killer. I'm a natural born killer.
Mike is the greatest heavyweight of all time, in my opinion. But it's my time.
Be in good shape because your health depends on it.
You probably heard the news, and it's true.
Do you believe that I will actually beat Mike Tyson? Yes. What the f? Do you really think that you're gonna beat Mike Tyson? Yeah.
Ooh. You think Mike Tyson's knocking him out?
Either way, I think Mike Tyson will beat you up.
Damn, so we better enjoy our time with you while we got it, brother.
Hey, bro, it's been good, y'all. We got the original Mike Tyson game, Punch Out. This is the fight simulation. This is how the fight's gonna go. Me versus Mike Tyson. Drink Celsius. Here we go. Number 15, baby. Punch. Yeah, baby. Oh, doc. First round knockout. Oh no.
Sorry, buddy.
Give up. Retire. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you're fine.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Jorge Masvidal, an MMA fighter turned professional boxer, agrees with the analysis made by Conor by stating that this fight is just ludicrous, as there is no credibility in Jake fighting and beating down the withered down version of a former world champion.
Could Jake beat him? Yeah. But is that Mike Tyson? No. It's not Mike Tyson. We all know who Mike Tyson is. But obviously he's not fighting Mike Tyson. He's fighting the shuttle Mike Tyson. I don't know, man. Maybe I overthink things like this in this matter too much, but there's too much.
I love you, Mike.
Same.
And I'm very nervous for you.
Thank you for caring.
I do care. I care about you. And I care about my brother. And I know the path he's on right now. And it's ruthless, Mike.
I agree.
The general public probably think that Jake Paul will probably lose.
That's
because
what they
he's
think.
a YouTuber, boxer, but they don't understand how hard we train and how hard we work. And
Vladimir Klitschko, who is a former heavyweight world champion, stated that this fight will be one of the most memorable fights as the world would witness the return of one of the greatest fighters against a talented youth hungry for glory and eminence.
Mike Tyson at his age is
facing a YouTuber that is much younger and hungry and capable of boxing as well. So it's going to be a good example for people that are at Mike's age.
While directly addressing the people who seem to be concerned about Mike's age, Vladimir poetically emphasized that if a fighter has staunch willpower and self-confidence, then their age will never be a hurdle in their path.
You can only be too old in your mind. Yeah. If you control your mind, you control everything in your life.
Moving on, unlike any other fight of this era, this bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has reached new heights of popularity, which can also be attributed to the fact that this fight is going to be the first ever live event broadcasted by a major streaming service such as Netflix. Talking about this major leap, Dana White, CEO of UFC, expressed his elation and also shared his plans to bring more such possibilities to the sport in the near future.
I think that Netflix should have gotten live sports years ago. I think they're late to the game, but they are a force. They're a force, man. And when you look at the amount of homes that they're in worldwide.
However, despite this excitement, Dana didn't shy away from brutally criticizing Jake Paul for this fight, stating how this fight is not only absurd, but also horrific no matter the deal.
Tyson's 58 years old. You know what I mean? Jake fought a guy who was his age and was also considered a boxer, and he lost.
Dana also pointed out how Jake as a fighter seems to be devoid of any sportsmanship that must be present in a good athlete, and the only reason he seems to have chosen this path is to gain notoriety and fame.
Jake needs these guys. Jake needs Tyson and needs all these other people, because that you know, everybody's going to tune in to hope that Mike Tyson knocks him out.
Right.
They're not tuning in because they think Jake Paul's a great fighter and they want to see him compete.
Eddie Hearn emphasized that November 15th will be a sad day for many die-hard boxing fans such as himself, as no one really wants to watch their idol get beat down by a mediocre fighter like Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. He's one of my heroes. I find it very sad, but it's a big event. I understand people are going to watch it, and it's entertainment, I guess, but for someone that idolised the guy growing up, yeah, not the best day.
Do you think Jake Paul gets any credibility if he beats Mike Tyson?
He's 58 years old.
Being a well-known promoter and someone who understands the pull of money in this case, Eddie stated that even though there is no doubt that this event will be highly publicized and would amass tremendous profit, it still does validate its existence.
I don't think there's one person, one boxing person, that really wants this fight to happen.
No.
So they're looking at it from a different angle. They're looking at it for numbers. They're looking at it for, you know, hype. And I get it. You know, I understand that this freak show may well do good numbers. But I think if you genuinely care about the sport and the history of the sport, and particularly the legacy of one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's not something you'd ever consider.
Eddie also questions the moral compass of those who justify the fight. According to Eddie, people need to understand that not everything that tends to be entertaining should be normalized, as these types of bouts usually come with the price of one fighter's well-being.
It's just a different world, isn't it, you know, that we live in, this new generation. But good luck to it. You know, I'm sure it'll do good numbers, and hopefully Mike Tyson doesn't get hurt, because it would be a travesty for boxing.
Meanwhile, another fighter from Mike's era has the complete opposite idea about the results of this fight. Michael Jai White, who has been a witness to Mike's ruthless aura and tenacity, thinks that Mike will be the winner, as Jake is nowhere near his level.
I got Mike Tyson.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't see how Jake pulls this off. I see Mike Tyson punching him in the body, and I don't see how Jake stops that.
Clarifying his analysis, Michael stated that the major downfall for Jake might be his size, as he is not big enough to handle the vicious jabs from Mike, which have dropped even big and brutal guys like Marvis Frazier and Trevor Berbick in the past.
Big guys would hold Mike. Guys with long reach and that outweigh him.
Yeah.
I think people that's Mike's weight, with Mike's center of gravity, I don't think there's anything that's going to stop him.
So in the end, what do you guys think about this fight? Do you think that the old lion will roar once again and win this fight while making the greatest comeback in the history of sports? Or do you think it will be the young hustler who ends up securing the win, along with cementing his name in the list of those who defeated the Iron Mike Tyson? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.